Did you have a question? Kathy?
Yeah, I was just going to say that when you work for the Catalina State Association, you're supposed to wear their official t-shirt or polo shirt or whatever, as opposed to anything that anybody uses.
Okay.
Yes, you did. What? Oh, this is you're talking about team sport.
Oh, sorry. It's all got to be in one. Yeah. Thank you. So it is a team sport, right? And even though you're the swimmer, there's a lot of folks that are intertwined on it. And the captain definitely has the ultimate authority, right? And your boat crew consists of all kinds of people. You might have family and friends. You might have people that have a lot of knowledge, like maybe Robin and Scott are on my boat. They know everything. They know what time I'm going to eat, what my pace is and all that. But you might also have somebody from out of the country, and maybe that's not their first language. Right? We don't really see it here much, but I know when I read for Southern California swims, people that want to do the Ocean 7 and stuff, you see a lot of people from other countries. So you want to make sure when you contact those swimmers that they have someone that you can communicate with. And it may not be their crew chief. It may be the person who's doing the feeding or something. That's something you kind of want to keep in mind just as you make contact with the swimmer. The crew chief usually can be kind of, is usually in charge of the swimmer, and if they're efficient, they're going to run the crew. So everybody on that boat should have a job. They should know what their job is, and they should be able to do other jobs in case people get sick, and in case there ends up out of 5 people on the boat, only one is not puking over the side. That can happen. And that one person is going to have to do everything. So they're going to need to know how to mix the food, how to do the timing, your stroke count. Do they have to how are they going to get in if they're the crew chief? You've got to have somebody on the boat. What the sleeping arrangements are. If I co-teach with observe things. Scott or like Robin, we know, like I'm like no good from 1 or 2 in the morning till like 3. Forget it. I cannot keep my eyes open. So then we try to figure out a sleep pattern for folks. As an observer, when there's 2 of you on the boat. Go ahead.
Kim, I want to back up just a second. When you're talking about a person who's coming from overseas, and let's say, for instance, they don't speak English, and you're reading off the rules, is it important that the interpreter really state word for word in their own language what you're telling them, for there's no confusion when you're out there saying, oh, you're touching the kayak again, I warned you about that, and they kind of like blindly say, oh, well, don't hold on to the kayak too long, sort of thing. No, seriously, because there's certain words that won't translate from one end. Like I speak fluent Arabic and stuff like that. There's certain words that won't translate from Arabic into English, so you got to make sure that those things, are interpreted right. So is it important to make sure that when it's being interpreted, that it is very specific?
I would say yes, but then there's going to be, let's say I'm giving you the information and you're interpreting it to them. I have no idea if you actually are interpreting. I'm assuming
Kim,
you're going to interpret.
If I could just say, the rules are written down, and you would certainly provide those rules a week or a month or 2 months before the swim. So, that's a very specific question. You answer that by getting it to them in English, and the onus is on them to understand them with somebody, maybe before they left their home country, and sort that out. Because you raise a point that can't be answered like 100%, so I would approach it that way.
Well, we're now asking that if somebody's a crew or a swimmer, if somebody is, they don't speak English and they come out of water, we ask that they have at least one person who's on deck all times who speaks English. That could translate.
It's for the safety of the swimmer and crew. So with your pace or your buddy swimmers, you really need to know, just as an observer, what the capability is. And ahead of time, you're going to want to know, do you have a pace swimmer or do you have a buddy swimmer? Is Robin going to get in and just cruise next to me, or is she going to get in and try and pick up my pace if I drop to 56 and I got to get up to 63 or whatever? So you're going to want to talk that over, what the expectation of the swimmer and the crew is with the base buddy swimmer and the pace swimmer, and who, if they have more than one, that will be doing it. You're gonna want to know as an observer and kind of what times they're thinking about getting in. Whether it has to do with the pace or like my last mile of my big swims, I always have somebody get in and take me in. So I can just look at them as I go in and I'm like, okay, we're here, we're done, we're getting this done, you know? Safety paddlers, you want to make sure that they know how to paddle. So we have had experiences that they get into kayak and they become a liability. Where you lose a kayaker, they go off in the wrong direction, and it's night. And you can't, the boat's over here, the swimmer's trying to get in, and the kayaker's nowhere to be found. Or the swimmer is faster than the paddler, and it's night. And now you've lost your paddler or your kayaker. So then what do you do with the swimmer and what do you do with the kayaker? So you want to have a talk with, when you call your swimmer ahead of time, you want to know, have they kayaked for you before? And if they've kayaked for you before, was there any issues? We also had a kayaker go rogue on us and wanted to paddle across the bay by himself. That was his plan. And so that's a whole other story. But you want to talk to them about that paddler. Can they keep up with the swimmer? Are they fit? Do they track by the stars at night? Amazing, you know? You get lucky and have great people out there. But there are hazards. You want to talk to your person about that and how capable those folks are. Who's going to do the feed prep? And who do you have to back up for that feed prep? Do you have a feeding plan? Does your crew chief have the feeding plan? Does everybody know, you know, Carver Pro's not working, what are you going to feed them? That kind of stuff. Family and friends are good on a boat to an extent. We're not, yeah. So they can be a liability. And age can be a factor. Some places, I think you have to be a certain age to be on some of the boats. Am I right, Devin? 14. So there's reasons for that. You don't want little ones slipping and sliding and falling off. And the swimmer, you know, I kind of sneak along line to see what has that swimmer done before if I don't know who the swimmer is. Oh, they've done this, this, and this, and go back. And, you know, the currents and the times are always going to be different, but at least you have an idea. Oh, they're about a 30, 35-minute mile. They completed this, they completed that. That was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Looks like they're on a plan and they're trained. And then when you talk to them, you kind of have a better feel of what their background is and that they're capable of doing whatever it is that they're signed up to do, whether it be across Tahoe or Monterey Bay. So, and you can always talk to them as well. A little sneaky first. Yeah, you can't always depend on the times. Times don't always tell. So, yeah?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the big takeaways from this is that there's a lot of different characters, cast characters, and different roles on the boat outside of the observer to make this really happen. It really is a team sport. But not all crews are created equal. You know, you get a really experienced bunch of crews, people that have paddled a lot out here in San Francisco Bay, been crewed for channel swims, or you get the dream team. You're lucky. But you also get like, oh, you know, I just got a bunch of my friends and my uncle. They're going to paddle and all this. And as an observer, you need to kind of know what you need to assess the situation, and then you can gauge how much you need to work with the crew chief to kind of offer advice and direct it a little bit, maybe beyond your primary responsibilities.